It is a breezy Sunday in Zilker Park. Kevin Connor here, Sun Radio setup here at ACL. And Zach Person has stopped by. Good to see you again, Zach.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Is this your first ACL?
First ACL, yes.
How was the experience?
Amazing. You know, we had an earlier slot today, kicking off the festival, and it was great to come out and see a pretty good-sized crowd out there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of people get out here early, but also weirdly amazing. Friday night, I was leaving here. George Strait and Miley Cyrus were the headliners, and they're playing. And it's like 8:15. They've been on stage for 15 minutes, and people are still walking in.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I was walking out with some people I didn't know, but we just started talking to each other like, where have they been?
Exactly,
what
yeah.
was so important? So there's a lot of people, though. They get in here right when the gates open and enjoy it. And
the
so
early birds.
A good experience.
Definitely, yeah. We moved here in 2017 from Houston, and it's been kind of a goal to get here and then to be on this lineup.
Just to remind anybody who's tuning in now, Zach Person, we play a bunch on Sun Radio with this song called Can't Stop Running. So let's play that now, and then we'll talk about Europe on Sun Radio.
Perfect.
The Sound of Our Town is here on Sun Radio with Zach Person and Can't Stop Running from his self-titled debut album. And I was following the exploits of you and your crew. I think your label president, Christopher, was doing a really good job of reporting on that. But man, what an experience. Was that your first time going to Europe?
First time, yeah.
Okay, so you go to Europe, you play like at least 24 shows. Most of them sold out.
Yeah.
So you're playing in like Sweden to a bunch of people who are rocking out to your music. What was that like?
It was awesome. You know, we went over. We didn't know what to expect, especially with all the everything being up in the air as far as the shutdowns and stuff. But took the chance, and it turned out really well. There was a lot of people that I think saw stuff online or heard a song, and they're really interested and wanted to come see it in person. And they actually came out, and it was really cool. We were welcomed really well, especially in Sweden. Jake, my drummer, has Swedish origins.
Oh, and they knew that.
Gustafsson is his grandfather's last name. And then we were en route to Sweden, and somebody said that literally, or actually to quote them, they said that Person is a super Swedish last name, and it apparently has its origins there too. So it was an unplanned homecoming show for us.
Excellent. And they particularly like Texas artists, it seems, in Europe.
Definitely.
People tell me that they have great audiences all across Europe because they're from Texas.
Yeah, I think there's that nostalgia and sort of the idea they have of Texas and artists and the Cowboys and all that sort of stuff, and so
they don't know we don't ride as often as we'd like.
Yeah, exactly. But we tell them we do when we're over there. Play it. No.
We're talking with Zach Person here, and you mentioned Jake, your drummer. You know, there are great Texas power trios like ZZ Top, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Johnny Winter, but you are a power duo, guitar and drums. And it works. It certainly works. And there's a few great bands out there that are just guitar and drums, like White Stripes, Black Keys, and stuff like that. But have you given any thought to what you could do if you were to break down and bring a couple of other people into this? What would you like to do to expand your sound?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, most of my life I've played in the trio format,
right.
And it was COVID that brought us down to a two-piece, and we just wanted to keep going, and in the meantime of like finding that third person or fourth and fifth person that worked, we were just like, how do we take advantage of these opportunities coming up and make it work? And so our plan is to stick with the duo thing now, because it's fun. It's kind of fun doing it this way, and it's light travel. But eventually, definitely we want to expand it out and have bass, keys, the guitars, background, all that stuff. But not in a super rush to get there. But when I find the right people.
Exactly. So you played on the BMI stage here earlier today, and we're taping this, folks, on Sunday, talking with Zach Person. When you play a club gig, people know they're coming to see you. When you play a festival, some people they know who you are, and some people are just kind of, let's check it out. Do you play any different? Is it just the same show?
I think it's the same show. You know, I was thinking about it. I used to play, and there was a lot of me looking down at the pedal board, looking down at the guitar, and there was a moment where it switched for me, and like I realized it was, you know, about the audience. It was about. I think it came from just getting older and maturing, and then going out to, you know, becoming of age to go out to stuff myself, and then like being in a relationship, and then realizing it's like, oh, so like people, you know, for a person to come out to a show, especially in 2021, you know, they've got their Netflix, they've got everything,
right,
every reason not to leave the house, and then, you know, for them to decide, okay, we're gonna go through the effort, we're gonna get dressed, look nice. You know, figure out they got to go to dinner. What are our dinner plans before this? And there's going to be an argument or something on the way there. All that just to get to the moment, to get to your show. And it's like, you know, I had the realization, like, oh, man, people are, you know, they didn't have to come out. And the fact that they're coming out, I want to put on a good show for them and, you know, leave them saying, wow, that was an evening's worth, you know, coming out and not be boring on stage.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it is a show.
Exactly.
You know, that's the thing. It's a show, and you know, some bands never get over that. They're looking down at their pedals the whole time. So it's good that you kind of figured that out.
Yeah, I've actually, by you know, inspiration from my favorite musician, Dave Scher, here in town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, half the time you see him, he's playing plugged straight into his Blues Junior, no pedals, and so I've tried to get as close to that as possible. I still need a few things because of the nature of the two-piece and everything, but for the most part, I'm tried to eliminate the you know, as many barriers as, you know, possible between me and the audience.
Well, the thing is, when you understand the respect for Dave Scher in town, when Eric Johnson says, you know, I'd like to have a second guitarist on my tour, and he calls up Dave Scher.
Absolutely.
So the best is calling, and you're going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who would you love to play with, jam with? I was just thinking about this, because one night at Antone's, when it was still up on the drag, it was Stevie and Guy and Buddy Guy, not Guy Clark, Buddy Guy. And it wasn't like tearing it up contest. It was who could play as sweet and soft. So if you could just walk out on the stage with anybody and just go for it, who would it be?
Oh, man. You know, I probably get a lot of hate from some people, but I think modern day, I've always had the fantasy of doing that with somebody like John Mayer.
Really? You know, he can play.
He can play, and when you talk about the soft and sweet, subtle touch, that's what he's all about.
Yeah.
You know.
And yet he plays Jerry Garcia's parts in Dead and Company.
Yeah.
So he can, and I've seen him do blues, you know, at the Clapton Blues thing, and he can tear it up playing blues. And I guess because he's such a pop star, people don't realize the dude can play.
Absolutely. And then on a lesser level, just not necessarily as much of a jam, but just a collaboration. Chris Stapleton.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. I'd be in heaven.
He can write, he can sing,
and he can play. He can play.
Yeah,
too.
he can do it all. Zach Person here just did his first ACL Fest. It will not be his last. Great to see you again. His self-titled debut album is out, and we're going to play a song from it called "Send Me Away." What can you tell us about "Send Me Away" that we need to know?
Oh man, "Send Me Away" is when I wrote that song, you know, it's very repetitive for a reason, and I think it was me trying to hammer over the head, just like hammer in that feeling of I won't tell you what you should feel and when you listen to the song, but the song's very emotional, and it was very much about I want you to feel this feeling over and over and over again until the very end of the song. Yeah.
Until you understand.
Until you understand. Yeah.
Zach Person, part of the Sound of Our Town on Sun Radio.